I wanted to introduce, oh, well, not introduce, you've already introduced yourself, Kerin, but I wanted to give you the floor to explain because what we're talking about is change and transformation. And what you've created is a very amazing life, Kerin. And I've seen you go from your divorce to, you know, making it all happen. And I know it wasn't easy, but you made it look easy. So, yeah, can you share your story and your how you made it happen?
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you so much for asking me to do this because I love talking about myself. um, that was really cool hearing everyone's stories. And I just feel like I'm kind of going to be telling people stuff that they already have likely done for themselves. Like, this is a group of highly intelligent, inspirational women who are achieving things, they are kicking goals already. So, like, I'm just going to share what I've done. And if anything resonates, that's great. Otherwise, it's just another chance for me to share what I've done and experienced. So that's cool. And so I guess I'll just start like where I had a major turning point in my life, which was about 5.5 years ago when I left my marriage of 10 years because it was very destructive. And after a 25-year career in HR and administration, I had a totally clean slate and was going to just start again. So I had no job, no home, no car, no anything. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I had to leave. So I packed up my stuff, put it in storage. I went overseas with Natalie for a couple of weeks and then we went to Canada and just flopped and debriefed. And then a few months in England, I spent with my cousins. And when I came back, I just had this blank space to spring from. And I knew that I had to make some decisions. And that 2 weeks in Canada, I felt was like just like a rest and inspiring and like debriefing. There was a lot of debriefing, and that was really important. Yeah, definitely. We were tossing around ideas, weren't we? Like, that's what Nat and I do. We just kind of toss around ideas like all the time, which is cool. um, so yeah, I had to rebuild my life from absolutely nothing. Like, I had resources and I went and got some coaching because I didn't want to make silly decisions. It was all a bit of a jumble. And so rather than going, okay, I need to get a job, I need to get a house, I need to get a car, I need to get all this stuff, my coach helped me design my life. And someone that was sharing before talked about designing your life. So we developed this vision, and so she asked me to think about what I wanted my life to look like rather than, okay, what job do I want? That basic kind of ground level stuff. So before I set my goals and before I started trying to achieve anything, we did a lot of envisioning. And so we set up this little scenario that I wanted to achieve, which was me standing on the balcony of my 2-bedroom apartment with my home office behind me and a view of the water and a walking path in front of me. People are walking past with their dogs and cycling and running. And I was just yelling out, like, I'm smashing life. Yeah, woo, smashing it. And so it had like this whole vibe to it. We elaborated a little bit on things like, I want a lot of recreation in my life, and I want rest and peace, and I want friendships, and so I wanted to have all those things in my life. So everything that I did from that point, it needed to point towards creating that scenario where when I got in that scenario, I'd be like, I've done it. I've actually done it. And so the next step was, okay, well, how am I going to build that? How am I going to achieve that vision? So what kind of work is going to get me that vision? And I had been tossing up whether to get a job or start a business. And as Nat said, like, I decided I was going to start this business. I had an idea and I thought, I'm actually going to regret if I don't try it. What's the risk? Like, the risk is that I try it and it fails and I do something else. But if I don't try it, then I'm always going to wonder. And right now is the time because I've got a blank slate. So I set up my business, which was, as I said, admin for tradies, and Nat and I started marketing that together, doing videos and stuff, and that was really cool. I decided that Jindabyne was the place that I wanted to move to because it had lots of recreation, and I bought a bright blue Subaru because that was going to fit all my recreational gear in, and I needed a bright blue car for my bright new life. So that was kind of how I got started, and all my decisions I tested against that vision. So that's how I've managed to stay on track that whole time. That every time I think, oh, should I move to that place, or should I buy that car, or, you know, okay, well, is it going to achieve that vision where I'm standing there on this balcony looking out over the water and splashing life? Yes or no? And so if it's yes, then cool, yeah, I'll do that. So all my goals sort of sprang from that. And at the start, so I was actually staying at a friend's house. I had this little single bedroom, like a little bedroom with a single bed and a little wardrobe and a little desk. And I'd sit there and do my daily action. So like Nan and I talked about, we wanted to know how did I design my life? And a lot of the things that I focused on was the daily steps. So just little daily steps. And how did I measure if I was succeeding? It was momentum. It was not have I achieved something, it's have I done these 3 or 4 things each day that I really wanted to do that are going to create momentum. So it was things like I'll make 2 cold calls, which are a nightmare and don't really work, which I discovered. I'm going to go to a couple of networking meetings each week. I'm going to do some social media posts, create a video, that sort of thing. So at first it was just these daily steps like that. And before I knew it, I had clients. I'd been offered a bookkeeping job 20 hours a week with the bookkeeper I was referring people to. And I'd found a little 2-bedroom townhouse in Jindabyne. I moved down there and it was all starting, like it was amazing. So that kind of all, yeah, I just sort of, I'm just looking at my notes here and I'm like, it looked easy, but it was scary and there was a lot of tears. Yeah, I cried a lot because I was really scared, and those decisions, moving 6 hours drive from my family and everyone I knew to a place that I'd only visited for ski trips, and I only knew one person in Jindabyne, it was really frightening. And I questioned all the time whether I was making the right decision. But then I was able to come back to that vision and go, okay, but that fits the vision of what I want to build. And I had to also remember, and I'll talk about my mantras later, but I had to remember what I'm made of and that I know that I can do stuff, you know, I can make things happen. So I moved down there, and I had a lot of lonely moments building that life because I was on my own. I had to build new friends. I had to find where everything was, and I had to settle in, and I hadn't lived by myself for many years. So all of that was really scary, but I continued doing that daily action and just building that momentum, and it did keep growing. And so I had that 20 hours a week of bookkeeping to keep me going financially while I built. The other thing I had was I had a confidence coach. So Jodie Bruce Clark is incredible. Some of you are coaches, so you probably know all of the stuff that she knows, I'm sure. But she took me through a whole lot of mindset stuff where she talked to me about fear, and she basically reminded me or taught me that every time I do something scary, something that I feel uncomfortable with, it makes my world bigger. So if I don't do the thing that's scary, it shrinks my world. So I just brace myself and I go, I'm going to do the thing and my world's going to get bigger. And then off I'd go and I'd do it. So, you know, people do look at my life now that, oh, wow, cool life. Like, but that's the sort of thing that built that life, those scary moments where I put myself out there and I was like, I'm just going to try new things and keep adding these things to my life that I want. So then I wanted to share about how I handled my challenges. So a lot of things came up that were pretty tough. And I learned a lot about myself in those times. So things I learned was that I'm made of really tough stuff. And it sounds like you girls are made of tough stuff too. And so when I come across things that are challenging, I just remind myself that I can tackle each task. I have what it takes to handle these things, no matter what they are. And I just tackle each thing one at a time, and I call in support and networks. So 3 mantras I've got that have really helped me. One of those is I am well connected, resourceful, and a resilient woman who has the tools and ability to handle every challenge. So anytime I come up with something that's hard, I'm like, I'm a well connected, resilient, intelligent woman who can handle anything life throws at me. I just say it however it comes out at the time, but that's the guts of it. So I know who I am and I know what I'm made of, and anything that happens, I'll just tackle it. I also, one of my mantras is I make great decisions. So when I'm faced with a decision, I don't know which way to go, I'm like, it's okay because I make great decisions. And then I just am able to face that decision. And the third one that I use is everything is working out exactly how it should. And then I'm able to sort of go, okay, well, if everything's working out how it should, even though it's different than what I was expecting, well, what do I do now? So I've got this thing that wasn't going to happen, but it's perfect. It's exactly how it should be. So I'm just going to work with that. And those things have helped me as everything's sort of topsy-turvied along for the last 5 years. So how do I stay the course? So I stay the course by reassessing regularly. So I've got a vision board, which I can share with you if you like. Will I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, I can change that.
Does anyone have questions at all, or will I just keep rambling and you can ask me at the end?
Consider this the Kerin podcast.
Not rambling, just admiration and respect and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely.
Can you share now?
Okay, yeah. I'll just before, this is a really cute thing that I found. Can you see this? Have a little look at this. My friends and I, we all joke that I love an award. I love gold stars and I love getting like, I'm the best at something or like I've achieved it. And I found out that that's type A personality, and I saw this the other day and I thought, this is so me. Stop and smell the flowers. Yeah, but I'm the flower smelling champion. Like I have to be the best at smelling the flowers. So I just thought that was really cute. It just kind of describes me. And like one of the things that I wanted to say is that like how I stay on track is that I find something, a vision or an image or a goal or some kind of future event that I can grab onto that motivates me towards that. So one of the things I love is getting business awards. And so I've achieved 2 of these. I've got 2 business awards, and I've just recently got a highly commendable.
And Kerin, what are the business awards you need to share?
Oh, so this is the Snowy Monero Business Awards. It's Excellence in Micro Business. That was the first one that I got, and I got a taste of getting an award, and I was like, I want more, like a drug. And this one is Professional Services of the Year Award. So that was the next awards ceremony 2 years later. And then this one I got recently in March. It was highly commendable in the Excellence in Micro Business Award, and I was half a point behind the winner, which frustrated me because I was like, I put my absolute best foot forward for that, and they were just that bit better, which I think is so good because now I want to be even better so that next time I get it. So anyway, that's me wanting to be the flower smelling champion. So the pictures haven't worked. Hang on. Can you see that vision board?
We can see most of it. It's okay. You can talk to it the way it is anyway.
Anyway, yeah, I'll talk to it how it is. So, yeah, so every year in December, and Nat started me on this, we did a vision board 5 years ago together. We kind of just scrapbooked everything, and that was really fun. But now I've got these great assistants that do all this cool design stuff. So I just give her all the words and stuff and pictures, and she puts it together and I stick it on my wall. So I envision some of the things that I want in my life. And so the things this year in my business that I want are more clients like this guy, because Andreas is the best. And I've got some words that describe him, so I know what type of clients I want to work with. I like clients with growth mindsets. I like clients that value what I do. What else have I got? Happy personality. They're overwhelmed by their success. Then I want more staff like these guys. I've got a husband-wife team, and they've got a growth mindset. So that's cool. They absolutely love the task that I give them. They're like, thank you, this is the best task. I'm going to enjoy this. And so we all just love our clients. We love just helping our clients thrive and achieve. And we all celebrate when our clients are winning. So I want more people like that. That's the only type of people I'll have in my business.
And what do you do for your clients?
Where
are they generally before you start working with them?
They come to me totally overwhelmed. They have, usually their bookkeeping's a year behind. They have no idea what their numbers are. They have too much work. The systems aren't streamlined, or they don't have systems. They are maybe a bit behind on some things. They haven't got a website. They're successful because they're good at what they do and people like them, but they've just sort of bumbled into it. And then now they're like, if I want to actually make money, I need to get strategic. So they come to me and I'm like, okay, let's find out what your main challenges are. And we start prioritizing them. And when I start working with them, I just go, okay, well, this is your main challenge. Let's work on that. The next thing, okay, we've handled that challenge. We go to the next one. So it might be straight away they just need a job management system. So I'll set that up for them, train the staff, get them sorted. And then I might clean up their bookkeeping. And then once that's done, then I'll get their website and their socials sorted. And we just move through. And this guy, Andreas, he was on the tools himself 5 days a week, sometimes 6, with one vehicle on the road. And he just had no time to himself. He was so overwhelmed and stressed. And now, 5 years later, he has 3 vehicles on the road, 2 great staff, and he's ready to bring another one on board. He's got an amazing set of clients. It's just incredible. So that's what I aim for, is that I take them on that journey over a long period of time, that we work together. So I'm their cheerleader, office manager, etc., in a small version. And I don't coach them. We just tackle challenges together, because I've got that experience to know what they need to tackle and how to tackle it. So yeah, that's
amazing.
It's really fun. I love it. And so all of the clients I work with are at some degree of that process between, oh shit, everything's falling apart, to this is amazing. I've just gone on a 10-day golf trip to to Vietnam, which is what Andreas has just done. And he had no worries about everything still going. So that was cool. Yeah. So, one of my things this year is 25 in 25 as well. So I like little catchphrases. And so I've got this 25 in 25 goal, which is 25 recruitments and 25 service mate setups. So that's 2 a month I want to achieve, because they're really profitable, but they're also really high value to my clients. They change everything. I get really amazing stuff for these guys. And because I've got a bit of an odd way of doing it. And this service mate, the job management system, is amazing for them. So as I achieve them, I colour them in. And I do that while I'm in a meeting with my 2 staff. And I'm like, guess what? We've got another service mate set up. I'm going to colour it in. And I go to the thing behind me and I colour it in. We're like, woohoo! So that's really cute. And then I've got a personal vision board as well. So I've got coaching with Jodie. She's the confidence coach. Take care of my garden, which my boyfriend gave me a potted plant. And instead of going, no, I've gone, I can handle this. I'm going to water this. This plant's going to survive. I'm going to be good at my garden. Build savings, run in the park, be discerning. All that, I've got all these things, read more books. So, so that's.
But I've seen you as well, Kerin, go from actually homeless, not on the street homeless, but not knowing where you're going to live, to now owning your own place that you've bought yourself by the lake. You've achieved that vision that you had 5 years ago, and even down to having an amazing boyfriend, which I know was not an easy journey either.
So all of those things that I put in place, the daily actions, I've done the hard yards, which it sounds like all of you have done the same. I'm certain I'm preaching to the converted here. But all of those things that I've done over those last 5.5 years have gotten me to the place where I've got a home, a beautiful 3-bedroom little home looking out over Lake Jindabyne, and it's right near a walking track. I'm looking out my window now. It's this gorgeous lake and gum trees and stuff. It's so stunning. And I never dreamed of that. I dreamed of it, but before that, I never dreamed my life could be so great. I've got this amazing group of friends here. I've learnt sailing. I've done a lot of skiing every season. I just ski my heart out. We go on beautiful bushwalks and paddling and swimming down at the lake with my neighbours and friends. I've just created this incredible lifestyle where,
if you're heading up the Chamber of Commerce as well.
Yeah, so I'm one of the committee on the Chamber of Commerce. We've just run the big Jindabyne Snowball event and the Business Awards this year. So that's been huge and I love it. And I've managed to get myself on the front page of the newspaper a few times in a beautiful ball gown. And Nat's been on our newspaper too.
Jackie, is there a book in this?
Yeah, exactly.
So the guy, the photographer at the newspaper, he reckons that I'm just my goal is to see how many times per year I can get on the front page. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. And I've learnt to embrace about myself that I love attention. I love that stuff. I'm in the paper, I don't have to apologize. I don't have to say, oh no, I'm humble. I like attention. It's fun. But it's not for the sake of I like attention. It's because it's something that has been achieved that's positive that might make someone else think, oh, I want to do that too. But anyway, so that's what I've done, and
thank you so much, Kerin.
You make it sound amazing.
You make it sound simple, but it was not, and
it wasn't simple.
We had many calls with one of us in tears. So yes,
but that's the thing, and I always
time.
Taken time, yeah. And I've had 4 relationships in that time, short 6-ish month ones, since I was in a very unhealthy relationship. And I was like, I am going to have a healthy relationship. And I kept saying, my friends would go, oh, there's no single guys in Jindabyne. And I go, no, I'm not subscribing to that. There's beautiful guys everywhere in the world. And I know that there's going to be one in Jindabyne or moves here or lives here already and I haven't met him. And he's just going to be amazing and perfect and lovely. And I'm going to be a healthy partner and he's going to be a healthy partner. And and so I've kept putting myself out there in these relationships. They've failed because they weren't right or whatever. And I've learned heaps in that time. And now I've got this beautiful boyfriend who's just exactly as I said, honest, kind, thoughtful, etc. And he lives in Cooma, which is half an hour away. And so my friends and I are like, you've been manifested. Did you know that? He's like, ooh.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Kerin. Like it's not easy to recount, the tough stuff. But you've done so well. It's been so cool. And now, I kind of have been using you as inspiration as well. Like even for me doing this move. And like, okay, Kerin could do it, I can do it. Like it does take time. So, and I've told you that and sent you weird little memes and stuff. So
that's why I like sharing what I've done.
Yes.
And that's why I like being in the paper. And I like getting that attention because I feel like it shows people something that they might be able to do. Yeah.
Ooh. Does anyone have any kind of questions? I know we've got about 8 minutes to go. For Kerin?
Not a question, just a statement. I think it's a beautiful story, really inspirational, Kerin. And don't assume we've all done it, or like your story's yours and it's full of challenges and strength and stoicism, and it's really lovely to hear. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I hope that there's at least some tiny little thing you might go, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I'd love to hear what maybe you picked out of that might be helpful.
Oh, the mantras were interesting. Yeah. But it reminded me of the Brené Brown research on courage shows that courage and vulnerability coexist. Usually when you're being courageous, which you're a clear demonstration of, you're not necessarily thinking, I'm fabulous. No. It's actually the
bracing
sharp intake of breath, needs CPR at times. This is awkward. So you're your real demonstration of that. But the mantras were really interesting.
Yeah, they have helped me a lot. And I keep finding new ones and I write them on my Post-it notes in the shower. I've got waterproof Post-it notes. So I just read them while I'm nude scrubbing myself.
I'm strong and powerful, I think was one of them that, I came across. Yeah.
At the moment it says, I make healthy choices.
Oh, that's right.
It's going to be true at some point.
Kerin, I liked your discernment about 2 to 3 actions a day that create momentum. So rather than just actions, because it's so easy to get into your, ticking off your boxes of actions, but you discerned, actions that create momentum. I really like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because it's about just planting those seeds at the beginning. Yeah, we've got 2 alarms.
Well, those remember those videos we did, Nat? Yes. We did these videos that made us out to be these super experts on admin and marketing, and we just posted them everywhere. But we thought we were queens of it. We are. We're pretty good. But anyway, we posted them out everywhere, and I got a client out of that, Amanda Rose, who's a TV presenter. She referred someone to me. She'd never met me. She'd just seen me everywhere on Facebook.